Inundated. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'll unmute at the end for questions. But we're going to just get right to it because I have some announcements, and then AJ is going to be taking over this call. So first thing, we're doing Snapchat, so make sure you've downloaded Snapchat. It'll make things easier. Try to say that 5 times fast. So the next thing, there is a live What is Coaching event tomorrow. Sarah is running it. I'm helping run it too, and some other coaches, but it's another way for you to share the business with people. It's similar to the one we did last week. And then next week, we're going to go back to doing a sneak peek Facebook group on Monday. So I'll be posting that link tomorrow for you because Stephanie and I will be at the leadership conference this week, but I'm still going to set up the group and we're going to run it next week. So the goal for this year is really to have some kind of coaching call or event or group every week of the year. So we can all invite to the business like crazy, try different ways and see what works for people. So Coach Camp, if you're in Illinois or close to Illinois, Coach Camp is February 6th in Itasca, Illinois. If you can come out, we would love to see you. I know Brendan Caesar said people can stay at their place, but it's a lot of fun and there's going to be a lot of good trainings. Then Success Club trip. The registration opened up today, so hopefully more of you will be there with us. And then Success Club in general, it's the 18th. We still have almost 2 weeks left in the month. So make sure you're still inviting. I'm personally going to be running another group starting February 1st. So that's what I'm inviting to now. I'm inviting to the business, and then I'm inviting to that February 1st group. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So make sure you're always inviting. And then the last thing is Team Cup. We're starting to register our teams for that, so I'll be posting a document with our teams after the call so we can get everyone who wants to participate in a cup group. But basically the Team Cup, you're just working together with 5 coaches to help more people, to get Success Club points, to earn some fun prizes. So Team Cup will be a lot of fun, and that's also in February. So I'm actually going to be taking notes because I'm still not good at this, but AJ is going to take over in a second here. But the reason why I asked him to teach on Snapchat is because we always talk about doing 2 different social medias at the same time, whether it's Facebook and Instagram or Twitter and Instagram or Pinterest and Facebook or whatever it is. Everyone's different and everyone's journey is different and everyone communicates different. So you really have to find your niche and what works for you. Like I love Facebook. That's where I live. I'm terrible at Twitter. I'm okay at Instagram. Pinterest is overwhelming to me. So Snapchat has really been a cool way for AJ to share his journey. So he basically, Gary Vaynerchuk tweeted him or retweeted him because he said, you can tell him what he said, but what he'll tell you what he said, but he retweeted AJ. And so AJ took that as an opportunity. Oh my gosh, Gary Vaynerchuk retweeted my Snapchat. I'm going to run with this and do something. So on Snapchat, he's sharing his talent, which is cooking and recipes, but he's also sharing his fitness journey and he's inspiring a lot of people. And it's really cool because you just put it out there and it can only stay up so long. And so he puts his story out there every day. He shows his runs, his workouts. So he's going to teach you what he's doing on there. And he's also just like, figured out how to do it all. Like he knows how to add people. He knows how to communicate with them. So I'm going to take lots of notes too because it's still a little crazy and over my head and I haven't taken the time to slow down and learn. So I'm going to switch chairs and pass it over to my husband, Mr. Action Jackson. Just kidding. That's not his real name.
I'm a little taller than Alison. I got to like scrunch down a little bit. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm AJ, if we haven't met before. And if anybody's friends with me on Facebook or if you guys know me, I am like the biggest Gary Vee, like diehard fan and appreciate his like, just like tenacity for work. And if you're not familiar with him, you should definitely, I think he's worth adding. He can be a little coarse and likes to swear a lot. However, he just purely promotes like hard work and hustle. And he really shows it in his everyday life. He now has a person following him around with a camera 24/7 all day long. And then they edit it into like a 20-minute video that really shows you what this guy does from 5 in the morning till maybe midnight, 2 in the morning. So yeah, big Gary Vee fan, Gary VEE on all his social media, so you should check it out. So Gary Vee was one of the first people ever to do a YouTube video blog, and he started with Wine Library TV. He ended up doing, I think, close to 2,000 episodes when he called it all done, and had turned a very small wine business into a $60 million business. And from that learning, he became like entrenched into social media, and now he started this social media marketing empire. And so, which he's the president of, and they have 4 offices in the US and global and all this stuff. So my big reason for loving Snapchat is Gary Vee will just not stop shutting up about how important and significant this is going to be for the future of social media. So that caught my attention. And as I dug more into it, the theory and why people now, and you're going to see a flood of people moving to Snapchat, and it's like starting like today. So you guys are like the first ones. Like, it's been around for a long time, and I don't know what it is, but something is like switched within the community, and like now it's ready for mainstream. But the reason people are betting big on it is Snapchat is the largest. What's that? The guy's name, Gary Vaynerchuk, is the guy that I'm the big fan on there. So Snapchat is the largest. That's what I mean. Is the largest used social media platform amongst 13 to like 20-year-olds or something. So highest using demographic. And what they've historically seen, like with Facebook, is, you know, we were kind of the first generation, 18 to 20-year-olds, to start using social media. We adapted it, we taught our parents, and it got adapted by the next generation. And now most of the people, if not everybody on this call, our families are on Facebook, and that's just become our daily norm. So what people are seeing is, yes, everybody's basically on every social media platform, but not everybody's using it. But they're finding that youngest demographic to be really entrenched into Snapchat. And these people are starting to teach their parents and the older generation. So because of that mass adoption, people are starting to bet big that there's a big wave of that millennial crowd right behind them that are all going to go from Facebook to Snapchat. So that's kind of the theory between it. I think Twitter's fizzled out. I don't really understand a huge need for Instagram. And Snapchat has some unique features, which I really like. So having said all that, Gary Vee has 2 million followers. And one night I just randomly tweeted him about Snapchat, and he retweeted my post to his 2 million people. And for like the next 5 hours, my phone just went like ballistic. And so seeing this as an opportunity, like, people are looking at my account, they're contacting me like, okay, let's see what this Snapchat thing is all about. And I took it and run it. So hopefully you guys will have it on your phone. You should find me now on Snapchat. So if you know how to use it, my name is Rollout925, ROLLOUT 925. If you don't, I'm going to show you guys all how to do it. So I decided that I used to have a food blog. I've done work on Instagram. I grew an account really quick on Instagram in 6 months or something to 2,000 people with my cooking, and it just really kind of caught on. So I thought, all right, well, if I had success there, I'm going to do it all on Snapchat. And maybe because like nobody's there, I'm going to set the standard. And so I decided, okay, well, I got nothing to do. And all these, I now, you know, like hundreds of people now saw my name, thousands of people saw my name. Like, I got to show them something, right? So I started cooking, and it was right around New Year's. So I also decided, like, what a great time to start my fitness journey. So I divided my day up into kind of like Alison teaches and preaches for Facebook, into like segments. So I viewed my day into 3 categories. I did a morning post, an afternoon post, and an evening post. I always did food in the morning, my workout in the afternoon, and then my big cooking thing at night, which was a recipe, and kind of, that was my value. I look at my evening and my big show, that's my value that I'm bringing to Snapchat. And when you guys get on there and you look, it's just a million people taking selfies and pictures of their dog and their kids running around. And while that's cute, if I don't know you and we don't know each other, I don't really care about your kids. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, you don't care about a random person and what they're doing. I mean, yeah, okay, but like, so whatever. So I decided that I needed to create some value for my users. So I started doing this posting. And look, just while, you guys are starting to add me. Love it. See, adding me, it shows it up on there. So yeah, so if you all open your app to the home page, I'm trying to see if I'm the camera. So you'll see the home page is just basically the camera that faces you or away. In the top right-hand corner is the button that flips it forward and backwards. So you can face it one direction, you can face it the other way. On this side is for your flash, so you can turn your flash on and off. I think for iPhones, there might be like a C or a crescent moon. If you press that, that helps for night mode, so it turns your pictures for night. All your settings in your phone, if you scroll down. Oh, wait, I took a picture when I was showing you guys this. Hang on. I'm like, why won't this work? Oh, my phone froze.
Too many ads.
Right? You guys like blew up my Snapchat and my phone just shut down. That's pretty cool.
Do you want to use mine when you restart it? Or?
Yeah, no, I got it. Snapchat's not responding. Huh, that's awesome. Okay, so if you scroll down from the top to the bottom, you'll see your settings and all the things. One thing that I want to point out that I don't think a lot of people know, you see your picture in here with all the dots? That's called your Snapcode. So that's like a QR code for your Snapchat account. So on other social media platforms, which I'll talk about in a second, if you use this as a picture or as your profile picture, people can screenshot this or add it, and that can be an instant way to link them to add you to their account, right? I mean, I've even joked with Alison, like, I should go around to different restaurants and like cooking places or at Target, and I should get like stickers of my Snapchat and just start sticking it to stuff to get people to like find me and add them, right? But then I realized when the authorities or people come looking, it's going to lead them right to it. So yeah, that's not going to work. So anyway, so in the menus, if you look along the top, on the far right corner is the one thing I want you guys to look at, and that's the settings button. I don't think this is ever going to work. Settings button. In the settings button, the first thing that you want to do on Snapchat is you want to scroll down to where it says additional services on Android, and I think on iPhones is a similar thing. And you're going to see travel mode. You definitely want to turn travel mode on. That's the first thing you should do when you have a Snapchat account. If you don't turn travel mode on, the second you open it up, it's going to constantly refresh everybody's story, all your information, and your battery is going to go to zero like super fast. So like for 5 days, I was like yelling, this Snapchat thing is destroying my phone. Like, I can't get it. Click that button, problem goes away. So that's like the first thing.
It's under additional services?
Yep, under managed. Yeah, Alison's got an iPhone. So under additional services and managed. So now we've turned the travel mode on. Some things on your account, and now this is everybody's personal preference. I'm not going to preach about security settings. You guys know social media, you get it. I'll just say that if you put your cell phone number in there and people have your number, then they can search you and find you and add you via your phone number. So if you're okay with exposing it and you're thinking this more like a business, I say put your number out there. It only helps people find your account faster. Same with your email. People can search your email account. They can add you. Then also in the privacy settings, that's where you can allow everybody to watch you or just your friends to watch you. Okay, so those are kind of some of the basic settings you guys should know about. Okay, so now we're back on the home screen, and we are going to swipe from left to right. I can't see it. On here is just a list of names, right? So if you've added me, my name's probably towards the, oh wait, I'll accept people.
Yeah, it's green at the top.
Yeah, green at the top, it says Snapchat, and then you'll see a list of people's names. In here is where you're going to do all of your one-on-one communication with people. And this is why I just really love Snapchat, and it kind of will come full circle in a second. So if you see like a little like bubble, like a text bubble that somebody wrote you some text, if you see a filled in square, somebody sent you a picture or an image. So that's kind of what that is. There's a thing that will explain what all the little smiley faces and all that is on the right-hand side in the settings, but that's not that important. The big thing now, why Snapchat has become more popular and is having the success, if you swipe to the other side from right to left all the way over, you'll see the My Story section. And this is where I've had success, and this is where your story, and especially for people that are working the program or you're going through any transformation, whether it's physical, emotional, family, whatever your story is that you want to put out there, your My Story on Snapchat is like gold. And this is the key. So what happens is, as you take a picture from the home screen or a video, you can post them to the My Story section. You can set the time on the pictures between 1 and 10 seconds, and you can have a video with or without sound from like the second it starts up until 10 seconds. On the My Story side, and you'll see a button as you click like the next buttons, like where you send it to people, it says My Story. Every post you do all day long just stacks one after the other, and it creates your story. Okay, so if you look at my Snapchat for today, I started with my run, then I talked a little bit about, I don't have food today, and then I cooked our dinner tonight, and I did that. All of those pictures are the ones that I took in consecutive order. They'll be available for anybody to see for 24 hours on the dot. And the second 24 hours hit, each one of my story posts will start to disappear, and then they're gone forever. And none of your users can ever go back and find that information again. On Snapchat, where your story is at the top of the list, so you'll see like Vox and CNN and Sweet, and these are people that pay Snapchat to have their business links and stories they create and ads and things like that. Above that, once you start posting things, you'll see something that says My Story. In there, you can download and you can save your story. So every day, I also download my thing and save it to my phone and then transfer it to my computer. So now I have a copy of, now it's a movie of your whole day put together, but now I have a copy of my whole story.
You want to just say like how to do it?
So they have to do, yeah.
Okay.
On the very top of that right-hand side, you'll see a circle. Why doesn't everybody actually just try to do that right now?
Take a picture.
Yeah, so if you go to your home screen, take any picture, take a selfie, take a picture of the computer screen, whatever you guys want, take a picture. You'll see at the bottom left-hand corner is a little clock. That will show you how long this post is going to show for. So you can pick 1 second, you can pick 10 seconds. Everybody pick a time. Up on the top right-hand corner, we're not going to do it now to save time on this call, but you'll see a little pencil where you guys can draw little pictures. You guys can scribble around a little doodle. You'll see a text button that you can write text. If you hit the text button repeatedly, it changes the size and how the text style is, and then you guys can tinker around with it. So screw around and mess around with that. And then that little sticky note is the emojis that you can stick onto your pictures. Okay, so now we all have our awkward selfie, and maybe somebody put text or you didn't. Now, bottom right-hand corner is a little arrow pointing to the right. If you push on that, now you're going to see a list. And if you friended me, maybe my name shows up. I don't know if I have to accept you, but you'll see My Story. Okay. So everybody push the little bubble where the My Story is. And if my name shows up, push my name too, because then you'll send it to me. Does my name show up? Can people give me a thumbs up or it does show up? Cool. Yep. So send it to me too, and you'll kind of see how this works, right? But just know you're sending me this picture. Right. So, okay. So
only for 24 hours it's up.
Correct. Only for 24 hours. I'm not going to post it because I don't want to screw myself up. So now you hit that little right arrow again, and that now publishes your story, that picture to your story. Okay, so everybody do that. And now it's going to take you to that page, and at the top now, you should see my name, all the ads, and you should see the My Story up there. Does everybody see that? Couple nods. Yep. 3 bubbles to the right. If you click on that, that expands your whole story. You can click on each one to see them. The other side will show you who's viewed them over here. So I posted my story an hour ago, and 14 people looked at it. 15 people looked at it. So it kind of shows you who, when you click in it, you can expand it, and you can see the individual names of everybody who watched your story and what piece of it. Okay? So why... I think that's good on this part of it. It's probably enough on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so why I think, I'm starting to get people's pictures and videos, so it's working, it's coming through. Now, every time you send an individual message, after they open it and close it, it's gone. But now your story, though, is public and is there for anybody to see for 24 hours. So where I think this is cool in my long rambling story and why I think this could be powerful for you guys as Beachbody coaches and even in your own fitness journeys and what's working for me is this is like straight up instant accountability. And you are putting it out to the world, but yet when people respond or comment, it's only private and it's only to you. So unlike putting it on Facebook where some people don't want to put their before and after pictures because they don't want to see the list of comments or they're nervous about people commenting. When I put this on here, it's for you to see for 24 hours. If you have something to say, only I see it. And I think that's really cool. So what I do every single day, if you follow me, is if I run, I put it on here. And I say I ran, and I complain about it, or if I don't. If I eat bad, I put on it. I put our meals on here. And every Monday, and today's Monday, you'll see I weigh myself. I put my weight on there. It was terrifying, but like super accountability. And the feedback from people is like, it's outrageous. I think I've gotten I just got enough. I keep getting them. I get like 30 today maybe. And they're just like, congratulations, keep it up, keep doing it. I had a friend of mine living in South Africa who said, man, if you're running and it's 5 degrees outside, I have no excuse to be running and it's 85 degrees outside. And it's like, it's those experiences, and you'll find that people are just really open to sharing. And I think it's because Snapchat is so new, people don't have this big, tight network. So right now, whether it's strangers or people, like, you can get people's attention fairly easily. And why I also really like Snapchat is you'll see not a lot of people have accounts, especially influencers, celebrities, businesses, up-and-coming people. So those that do, you have a good chance at them seeing your post and them connecting with you. And people looking for others to connect with, you're an option that is there, and there's not a whole lot of options there. So I've been able to connect with people that have 100 to 300,000 Twitter followers, and I don't ask them for retweets. I don't plug my stuff. I just hustle and do my videos every single day, like the Gary Vee way. I just try to put out the best content I can. And people say, hey, check out what AJ's doing over here, because there is no natural discovery mechanism on Snapchat. People can't just go searching around like, hey, I wonder who does food stuff, or is anybody named AJ there? Like, it doesn't exist. It has to be a username or that Snapcode that I showed you guys before. So it's a little bit tough to grow your following, and we can talk about if there's time some tips and tricks and where I've had some success with that. Yeah. But that's why I think like this is the time to get on here and like build a strong story, because people like passionately want to follow you, and all the comments are just to you. So building that relationship and building that connection with people, I mean, it happens like instantly. I've been on this for 2 weeks. I can now honestly say that I have 3 really good friends from Snapchat. I talk to them every single day. They comment on every single picture. They tell their friends to follow me. Like, I know what they do for a living. I know where they live. And like, it all just started like, hey, here's me making a turkey burger tonight. Click, 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 click. And like, I try to make it creative and interesting for people, but like, they want this. People want this right now. And maybe in a year or 2, when this gets flooded and now everybody's name pops up and it's just like this flood of information, maybe we don't have that anymore. But I think for right now, like, we can be the first, we can be influencers, and people can find us, and people don't know how to do it. I mean, I just saw like a couple famous athletes for the first time were like, yeah, hey, or Carmelo Anthony was like, yeah, hey, check out my Snapchat. And I, followed it. He had just started, and it was freaking terrible. I mean, it was like, here's my foot, here's the wall, like, here's me walking down the street. I know you're famous, but like, that is so stupid. I unfollowed him. I can take pictures of a sandwich and keeps people's attention better than super famous people. So like, it's not even that hard for us to win on this platform right now. So that's kind of like my hoorah, like, look at me, I'm getting all amped up. Like my hoorah speech for like why I think that this is so cool and why I've had success with it. The other thing I find, so I said there's no natural way for people to just go on Snapchat and find who you are. The best ways to do it are you tell your followers, hey, I'm on Snapchat. So you tell Facebook, you tell Twitter. I think Twitter is a great place to do it because you can kind of be spammy on Twitter, and that's kind of how Twitter is built, so people don't really freak out about it. You could change your profile picture. So that's one way to convert people over. What I do to find new people is twofold. And I get maybe 60 to 70 views a day, which I didn't think was that much. I get asked almost every single day by somebody, how do you grow? How do you do this? How are you finding people? And one of it is I just talk like I have 1 million followers every single day, and people just think like you're a big deal. And they don't know. They can't check. Like there's no way for anybody to ever find out. So you just go on there and you just own it. Like, I am the best person that's ever done this before. Of course you're following me. I'm a big deal. And then the other thing is, like, if you put out good content, people want to see that on Snapchat. Do not post selfies and your dog and your kids and, don't complain. Do not complain on Snapchat. Everybody complains all day long on Snapchat, and it is obnoxious. There are no shortage of people complaining on Snapchat.
Oh, they do.
Oh, on Snapchat, they do it all day long. If you want to complain, put it on Facebook. That's where your friends and family are like, oh, I'm so sorry your car got stuck in the snow. But, like, I don't care that you got stuck in the snow. I don't know who you are, right? So don't complain. And that's why I think that people have gravitated towards me, is because it's like positive message. It's sincere to who I am, but like I'm giving some value instead of just like the mundane stuff that goes on, because that's what everybody else is doing. So don't do that. The other thing that I've done is I just take 30 to 60 minutes every single day and go on Twitter, and I search Snapchat and then another word. So I search Snapchat Gary V, because they're all a very business motivated crowd. You guys could check out like Snapchat Tone It Up, or where's some of the other, I don't know.
Snapchat Lululemon.
Lululemon. Yeah, just whatever your favorite brands or like lifestyles are, just put Snapchat in that word on Twitter. And then what will show up is a big list of people who mention those names. And so what I have found works well is I do Snapchat Gary V, and because Gary V put his name as his Snapcode, a lot of people have Snapcode. So I just quickly go scroll down, screenshot their picture. I check out their profile, make sure they're not some weirdo. Screenshot their picture, go on to the next one, go on to the next one, go on to the next one. I build up maybe 10 or 15 of them. Then I just add them. Some people say like engage with them and start conversations, and like I totally agree. That's a great way to do it. You guys are doing that every single day. But like my goal is just to like try to scale this a little bit quickly. And if you're doing good content, people will tell other people to follow you. So my goal now is just to get semi-targeted eyeballs and like put out killer content, and they'll help grow my account. So I go on Twitter, I search Snapchat dinner, and I look at all the names and I screenshot them all, and then I just add them. And I would say between 30 and 50%, give or take, will add me back. So that's not really too bad. And it's kind of slow right now, but unless you're just, the fastest way is just to say, hey, follow me to all your normal people, but you already have all their attention anyways. So I think that's like a fun thing. But if you guys are doing a good job on Facebook and Twitter and whatever other platforms you guys are using, like, you should do it if you're doing cool different stuff over there, but that's not where you're going to like blow up new business. Now, while you're over there and you're sharing your story, like, creep on and always check out the people that follow you and like engage back in their story and talk to them. And at first I thought it was kind of weird. Like, I'm going to comment on this random dude's, like, I don't know, he was building a snow fort with his kids. And I was like, And then I was like, hey, that's a really cool snow fort. And then he commented back, and then back and forth, and like, boom, then a huge conversation started. So, I mean, as you add these people, it's important that you just comment on their posts. I don't think you have to be trying to fish and maybe like, hey, I'm so-and-so and I do this and you should check out my Beachbody thing. It will come up by itself so quickly because these people are going to want to learn who you are, and like, they just want to make a friend. And I have never seen that on any other social media platform. It's like super weird, but I think it's because it's new and the community is just like craving like non-creepy dudes that run around on Snapchat and do a bunch of weird stuff. So, if you get on there, and it doesn't take a lot, you don't have to do like a nonstop epic story all day long, but I would say what I have learned in my short time doing this is it's important to like tell a story, right? So when you're going to do something, there should be a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or at least that's my opinion and what has made my stories good. And you can have the random one there and, you know, here and there to keep people on your toes. But like, yes, what did I say? Oh, Saturday we went to the museum in downtown Chicago. I took a couple pictures and videos leading up to us going downtown and walking around. They were kind of quick and didn't exactly say what we were doing. Then I showed a picture of the museum. And then I put this big montage and collage together at the museum while we were there. And it was kind of fun. And I had quirky things and interactive things. But then at the end, I made sure to like wrap up my story. Like you don't want, because remember, most people that watch it are not going to watch you nonstop all day long. They do it at the end of the night and they just kind of watch the whole day's story. So you have to think about your viewer. How are they going to watch your story? So then at the end of the thing, you have to say, hey, we did it. You know, I completed this, and like make sure to like wrap up the story so the viewer kind of feels complete as they watch your story. And they could be little micro stories, like 2-3 posts. They can be big, long day ones and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I see some, I didn't even know there was like questions going on.
I still don't get how to add people from Twitter.
Okay, I can go over that.
Like I'm searching in the search.
Yeah.
And I type Snapchat.
So we're on Twitter, yep. And
Okay.
then Snapchat, how about
Victoria's Secret. No,
how about Snapchat running?
running.
So
So you put
we're
no ad. I don't get how to use Snapchat on Twitter, so and how to add
and
friends.
then
So
you search.
I'm searching Snapchat, Twitter.
So now I should do this before I like tell you guys to do a bunch of weird ones. So I'll answer a couple of questions here and what I have found. So all the people that ask me on Snapchat, hey, how do you add people? The number one thing I find is like nobody does this, and Gary Vee tells people to do this every single day. So you go on Twitter, you search Snapchat running, and it will give you a post of top tweets and all tweets. So all the top tweets are the things that are trending. They have the most interaction. That's a great place to start if you haven't looked at this category. That just weeds out a lot of the crap that and spam that goes on Twitter. So that's a good place to start. As you scroll down, you'll see I'm running the
R5 on tour.
Snapchat today. So then I'd say, okay, maybe this person has a Snapchat profile. I open up their name. No, I didn't put it there. That wasn't a good example. But as you scroll down, you'll see people talking about Snapchat, right? And they'll comment about it. You click on their name, you look in your profile. Sometimes they list their name, sometimes they don't. If they don't, just move on. If they do, they'll put it in their profile right on top. You can screenshot it, you can write it down.
Oh, so they'll say like username is Billy Moore.
Yep.
So they have to actually say their name somewhere on Twitter.
Some people will say it, and some people will put their Snapcode, which is like that QR code. So if you find me on Twitter, rollout925 as well, my profile picture is my Snapcode. Because I only use Twitter to talk to Gary Vaynerchuk. Like that is all I do on Twitter. And like me and Gary Vee, I consider BFFs. He just doesn't know it yet. And I'm doing all my stuff on Snapchat, right? So I just want that to be my QR code. I want people to come over and find me on Snapchat. I don't care about Twitter. If I one day want to work on that, I'll change my picture.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, so if you find me on Twitter, you'll see that I have that QR code. So I would scroll through and look for people that have a QR code or they say their name either in that link as you scroll through the search, or they'll have it in their profile picture.
Then do you have to do all your photos live?
So do you have to do all your photos live? You do for your daily story. So the one that's public for people to see for a full 24 hours has to be done live. If you want to send an individual person a picture, like you want to send me or your friend or a group of friends, that you can do something saved from your phone. But as of right now, you cannot send it to the masses. I had another thing.
Can I add? So I have I actually have a couple of my challengers that use Snapchat. So it's really cool because they can snap me pictures after their workout. So like today, one of them snapped me she was like stretching and her dog was in her face. And she just said like, really? You know, so you can see your challengers working out. So you can ask in your challenge groups if people have it. And it's just another way for them to be held accountable by sharing their workouts with you, sharing pictures of their food. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. I just have a couple of them that do that with me now, but it's fun to see their little snaps. And it just connects you more.
And if you make that your brand on Snapchat, people just start sending you that stuff. Now people just send me like, here's my dinner. Like they just send me a picture of a plate of food and I'm just like, oh, okay, sweet, you know? And or a couple people like send me just epic fails, like, hey, I just totally destroyed this dish, like here you go. And there's like no context, there's no nothing. They just like send me random pictures. So I think, you know, whatever your story or your brand is going to be on Snapchat, like it's just amazing how quickly people will connect to you. And hey, if they don't, they'll move on. And, you know, you can kind of go on from there. I had a couple more things. I was like, iPhone users. Big advantage on Snapchat if you are an iPhone user versus an Android user, which makes me very sad. If you go in your notes on your iPhone, in the like memo or the notepad, if you put like a word and then you hit the enter or the return button and you put a bunch of spaces down and then you write something else, you can copy and paste that block of blank text and you can paste that into your text bar on Snapchat, and that will allow you to write more than one bar. So the way Snapchat is currently coded, you can only do one line of script across the top. If you hold your phone this way, if you turn your phone sideways, which people hate, so don't do it often, you can write longer text across the top, but like all your pictures should be done this way and the text should go across. The downside to doing your pictures, and Alison yells at me, because when you do your pictures this way and you download your story onto your phone, when that converts onto your computer, it's not like a one-for-one video transfer. It's got those like black sidebars on the side. And so it doesn't scale really nice for making pictures. So then you have to like crop them and get a little fancy for videos and stuff like that. Yeah. So for reusing content, you have to get a little bit fancy, just so you guys should know that. So iPhone users, a couple extra spaces, you can copy and paste that in. Now you can put extra lines of text. Android doesn't work on that. If you have a jailbroken Android phone, which I bet nobody does, send me a message, and there are programs and things you can do to do a ton of stuff on Snapchat, but like I won't even get into all that kind of stuff.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Does this help?
Is this helping people? Do people see why I think Snapchat's important? I mean, I'm going to be honest, like this, like we're taking a gamble, right? Shalene has basically put all her money in on Periscope. Shalene sits there and preaches that Periscope's going to be the next big thing. You should be an early adopter of Periscope. Everybody should do it. There's also Meerkat and Facebook Live now that competes with Periscope. Periscope integrates with Twitter really nicely, but like when you look at different up-and-coming platforms, and a lot of people will tell you, like, be an early adopter and, like, go for it. I'm here saying I would put my money, and I am begging Alison to do more on Snapchat, but I'm doing it myself, that I think if I was going to do Facebook plus one other one, like, my money's going on Snapchat, because as of today, there is not another app on the market that does anything like Snapchat does. And Mark Zuckerberg posted a comment a couple weeks ago that he was going to basically try to turn Facebook Messenger into Snapchat, as he likes to do with all of his Facebook-type products. But really, there's no competition. There's nothing like it. It has that ability for you to post, videos and things to mass amounts of people. And while every single interaction becomes one-on-one and private, and then, the downside of it's also instantly destroyed afterwards. But I think that just really creates this really intimate community of people that like wants to talk to each other and want to create friendships and grow. And if I just think that this is the time, and maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, like Snapchat now just said they're going to start doing ads. And I don't exactly know how they're going to integrate that into their platform. You guys might have seen where if on your home screen, I guess I can show you guys this now. They're going to get rid of this pretty soon. So if you like it, you can buy the stuff or you can download it now, because I think within the next month they're going to get rid of it. So on the home screen, when you have it on the selfie button, if you have it in front of your face and you hold on your face for a second, you see this weird like lines like will outline the frame of your face. Then at the bottom is where you can put those different modifications. So if you've seen the one that was real popular where like the rainbows would like spit out of people's mouth, like that's how you would do it. It's from the home screen. You hold on your face. It'll outline your face. And then now you can...
tell them I put it online.
You can scroll through. So Alison, what's your name?
Alison B13.
Alison with one L, B13 is Alison's profile. She just put up a picture of her using one of those kinds of things. So you can do those. That's how they were making money. They were charging like 99 cents for them. They were also charging for people like 99 cents to replay somebody's post. So right now, if I send you a video and you watch it, after you're done watching it, it's gone. You never get to see it again. You can pay 99 cents to watch it again. Well, guess what? Nobody's paying any money. They're all 13-year-old kids, and Snapchat's not making any money. So now they said we're scrapping the old plan, and the new business model going forward is going to be advertising. So I don't know if it's going to be advertising in our daily stories. Is it going to be more advertising on banners across? Are we going to have opportunities to earn income? There was a post the other day that Snapchat is going to start offering Snapchat is going to start offering money management services where people can give Snapchat their money and they will be your financial advisor, and they use computer algorithms to invest them on the stock market.
Don't do that.
Like, don't do that. That is a terrible, terrible idea. I am not advising that. But like, this is how crazy that this company is, and you can already send money to people within Snapchat. So I think they're thinking very outside the box. They're very willing to try new things. And
Brenda has a good Snapchat.
so yeah, oh yeah, Brenda. I love Brenda's. I talk to Brenda every day. She does a lot of healthy ones. She'll show her blog on there every once in a while. So yeah, definitely check out Brenda's. So let's see, 2 questions. How do you find followers if you don't use Twitter? How do you have conversations through my story? Oh yeah, 2 good questions. I'm going to do the second one first. How do you have a conversation on my story? So everybody who who's friended me, and I've accepted everybody who did. As you watch my video, anyone that you are co-friends with, right? Like you both have to be friends with, on the bottom of their story, if you scroll from the bottom of the screen up, it'll open up a chat option. And within whatever video or picture clip there was, you can send them a message from that clip. And when I get your message, I'll see that clip that you sent, that you commented about. And you can write as much text as you want under that picture. So if you're both friends and you see their story and you see something you like, you can scroll up and then you can write them a comment. And that's where I've met most of my people is I watch their stories. I say, hey, that looks interesting. I scroll up. I say, hey, what are you cooking tonight? Like, your dinner looks super tasty. Like, what'd you put in there? And then they always tell me what they put in their dinner, or they'll ask me what they should have put in their dinner. So yeah, that's one way to communicate via the one-on-one. How do you add followers if you don't use Twitter? Well, I would just say, just go on Twitter and get a Twitter account, and you don't have to use it or post anything. I use it I think it's a great search tool to look for people that post their stuff, because is the limited social media that I'm involved in, I see the most people on Twitter talking about their Snapchat accounts, promoting their Snapchat accounts. So if you don't want to post on Twitter and you're not active, it's not a big deal. Go on there to search. Otherwise, your best places are going to be to tell people to follow you on Snapchat, and then just crush it on Snapchat, and they're going to share your story. I've had 5 people this week share my story. I haven't read it. I got a message from a guy who I know has a huge following on Snapchat, and I've been just keeping my fingers crossed that he gives me a shout out, because I think that could be really big. But it's a community of people that boost each other, and so I also think it's early enough that if you just put out awesome content and you don't care if 1 person or 5 million people watch you every day, you will grow your account, because people will just sense that authenticity. I hate it when people get on there and they're getting all hammy and cheesy for the camera, and you can just tell they're just really trying to milk it for the followers. It's dude, just be yourself and show me something cool. And you can be quirky and all this stuff along the way, but if you don't provide people value, they just move on to the next thing. There's just too many people. We have too many options in our life. So if you just do a great, and it could be anything. It could be I show my Jordans all the time in my shoe collection. It can be makeup, hair, fitness stuff, cooking, I don't know, building card houses, like whatever you're into and passionate about, like show that to people and like find creative ways to show them that, and like try to, and think about that kind of stuff. So I think that's cool. You can just search Brenda Marquez. Yep. Any other questions? Did I leave anything out?
Hey AJ, can you go back over how to do the scanny thing?
Yeah. So we're going to be on our homepage. We're on, where you can take your picture and whatnot. If you scroll top to bottom, boop, that picture right there, in the middle. Oh, I'll talk about that too. So that is your scan code, your QR code, right? The other thing though is you see the little ghost in the middle. For most people who haven't set it up, it's going to be white. If you hold on that for a few seconds, it's gonna grow. It's gonna blow up real big. And then you'll see the okay, good. I didn't want to redo mine. It took me forever to do it. If you see the button below it, you'll see a camera. This takes 5 pictures of you, and it strings them all together. So I see Carrie doing it. Be ready that this thing is going to take 5 pictures of you, and you can get creative with it. I saw a guy change his hat 5 times real quick, which I thought was pretty cool. I just made a bunch of faces. I've seen people put a sheet of paper or try to change paper. I mean, you have to go crazy with it, but just so you know, that's going to take 5 pictures. But that yellow box with those bubbles is your snap code. And what's shocking to me is the number of people on Twitter who go through the effort to screenshot it, they crop it, they make it their profile picture, but they cut an edge off a little bit, and then when I go to add them, it doesn't scan it correctly. So if you're going to do all this effort, make sure to put a little extra room around the edge. The QR code reader is phenomenal at finding the scan code in a picture. It does not need to be big. You guys might even be, I just thought of this now. Hang on, I have a big idea. You could be able to watermark your stuff with your snap code and your QR people, and people could find it, take a picture of the screen, and then find you on Snapchat. Boom!
So on your
that just happened live right there. On your
Do that again.
On your pictures.
Which picture?
Anything that you post anywhere. So your Instagram pictures, your Facebook, your YouTube.
Get it.
You can take that little picture, you can watermark that in the bottom of the screen, AJ Snapchat thing right here. And so as people watch it, they can go click, they can take that picture, and Snapchat will find your name on Snapchat.
I probably wouldn't do that all the time.
I wouldn't do it all the time either, but that is one thing that you could do.
Yeah, because then to add from that, you go to My Friends.
So then to add people,
add friends,
once
add
you,
snap code.
Yep, so when you screenshot somebody's snap code, to add them.
It said LOL because I tried to add myself. I was just testing it.
You just go to add friend and then add by snap code, and that will show, I was doing it earlier, I have 2 up here. I did earlier. You can do add by address book, which will sync up your email and all that stuff. And then, username is where you would just type that in. So that was a good one. I think that snap code is one of the coolest features to Snapchat that is totally unique and a cool way to kind of help, get it out there. And and for the people that are big on Twitter, if you like Twitter, when you put it out there, put a couple hashtags that you like that are with it. So if people search it, if that's your profile picture, people can find you really quick.
I have to stand.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? No?
How do they just use their camera on the Snapchat to do the QR code, or do they have to have that reader? Or does Snapchat have it integrated into their?
Yes. Yep. It's integrated into the app. So when you go on the home screen and you pull from the top down, you'll see add friends. In there, it'll say add by snap code. You click on that, and it automatically pulls up the gallery on your cell phone, and then you just kind of click, and it says add friend. It is super efficient and freakishly accurate. So I've really enjoyed using that. That's been cool. Yeah.
Sorry. I just tried to do myself, and it said LOL.
Yeah. That clever Snapchat.
That's what I did do.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I do have a tip because I just did it. If you want to knock off the bottom of your picture, edit in your pictures and then just do square, and then you can move it down and it leaves the frame without leaving all the extra on the screen.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yay, Snapchat.
Yeah, so that's like my rant about Snapchat. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like this is like Facebook for you guys where you're going to connect with 1 million people and you're going to have the type of reach that you do on Facebook, right? And that's still going to be your go-to. That's your bread and butter. That's going to help your guys and grow your business. But what I think is Snapchat is a great way, for one, for you to keep yourself accountable for whatever you want it to be in your life. If you want to do like, I'm going to make my bed every single morning. What?
Flossing your teeth.
Yeah, flossing. Like, just put that shit on Snapchat and show it every single day. And like, I number it every day. I'm like, today was run number 11. I'm just like, run number 11. Here we go. Boom, done. And that can be for you. Like, if you need to be held accountable for something, and people will cheer you on and join you in that. So if you're running groups and challenge groups or
Team Cup group, we can snap each other.
There you go. You know, so you can kind of put that stuff out and hold yourself accountable, while at the same time, like, really getting some great one-on-one connections with people.
Yay. Are you good?
That's cool.
Anything else? He's like a snapaholic.
My last note is, on your My Story, once you post it, you cannot edit it. And it's super annoying, and I bet they fix that in the future. So once you post it, that's it. You can delete them, but you can't take a picture and, like, put it earlier in the day to, like, fill where you screwed up earlier. Like yesterday, or Saturday, I misspelled Chicago like an idiot, and then I got home and I was like, and I just deleted the picture because I was just so embarrassed by it. Like, I couldn't even leave that on there, but you can't edit it. So
Chicago.
Yeah, CHIACAGO. Like,
I was like, are you doing like a chia joke?
It's terrible. So just know that when you put it on there, it's there. You can always delete it. And I encourage you, if you're really working on your story and you're doing it, like, I encourage you to take a few pictures, post some things, stop, watch your story. Like, it's got to drive Alison crazy. I watch my Snapchat story like 100 times all day long because I want to see what my viewers are watching and what it's going to look like when it's all put together. And if you're kind of just like thinking about it, like, don't think about yourself, think about the people that are watching this, right? Because those are the ones who care. If you're thinking about how they're viewing your content, like, it's not hard to be an excellent person on Snapchat. Like, people are terrible at this platform. You guys can go out there and just kill it and not even put a lot of effort into in doing it. So that's why I just think, like, right now it's super cool. I'll keep people updated as I find new things or as I learn new tricks. Like, every day I'm learning new things, just like that trick on the iPhone where you can put the extra text. You know, like, it's always changing. Like, Snapchat's going to be changing a ton. So
I was going to say, watch AJ's story versus mine. You can see mine as the bad example. I posted the picture of Thor, and I'm like, I can't delete it. So you can see mine is like the average snapper, and then his is building content. So use that as a to do and not to do. But I'm going to work on it. So
it's cool. It's fun. I mean, you're going to love it. Like, once you start doing it, like, it's so addicting. And it's a whole lot of fun. And, you know, like, I'm losing weight. I've done it for 2 weeks. I lost 12 pounds. Like, you know, hey, even if I suck at Snapchat, like, who gives a shit? Like, I'm killing it. So, you know, just go out there and, you know, have some fun. Ask us questions. Ask me questions. Snap me, right? Now we're all Snap buddies.
Snap questions.
We can all just message and I'll help you guys out. So, yeah. I like that, Carrie.
Cool. All right. We should let people go to bed. He's gone. Drop the mic.
Thank you, AJ.
Yay. Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome.
Cool. So thanks, you guys. Sorry it was a little long, but we had lots of snapping to cover. But I will see you next week for a Power Hour call. Remember, invite to the event tomorrow, invite to the sneak peek next week, and I can't wait to see everybody snaps. We can share our names. I'll post the video, or I'll post a file and we can share our snap names so we can find each other. So have a good night, you guys.
Thanks, later.